Army of the Dead was meant to be Netflix's fun and emboldened new horror franchise with plans for more entries. However, following Rebel Moon's recent release of the R-rated versions, it's been revealed any plans for Army of the Dead sequels, including Planet of the Dead and its animated prequel, Lost Vegas, have quietly shelved, according to The Wrap. The outlet recently spoke with Zack and Deborah Snyder, discussing the recently released director's cut of Snyder's space opera scary films Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2. In the discussion, the subject of Army of the Dead was brought up, confirming that all plans for sequels and prequels, including the projects Planet of the Dead and Army of the Dead, Lost Vegas, have been quietly cancelled. Here's the full segment from the article talking about Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead, a movie the Sneeders made from Netflix before Rebel Moon, had a similarly ambitious plan, with several sequels and spin-offs in the works. 1. The prequel Army of Thieves was actually released, along with an animated series. The animated series was quietly cancelled, along with plans for subsequent films. Zack said, "We are very ambitious with everything and Army of the Dead isn't entirely dead," as Deborah pointed out that there will be a themed experience coming to the Six Flags theme parks this Halloween. "It's going to be a really cool experience," she added. Over the past few years, we've heard very little about Netflix developing more Army of the Dead projects outside of Planet of the Dead and Lost Vegas, so the cancellation news may not surprise many. What must also be considered is Snyder's poor run this year, beginning with the release of Rebel Moon. 4 Rebel Moon movies were effectively released within 8 months in 2024, all of which have been universally disliked by subscribers and critics alike. This has likely shaken Netflix executives' confidence in Snyder's leading another very expensive franchise. However, when Army of the Dead was first released on Netflix, the action horror initially provided Netflix with some great viewing figures. In its first 28 days on the platform, Army of the Dead was watched by 75 million households and became the 9th most watched Netflix original movie in the streamer's history. Thanks to the movie's success, plans were made for a prequel animated project and future sequels, such as Planet of the Dead. The last set of viewing statistics we got for Army of the Dead and Army of Thieves comes courtesy of the 2023 Netflix Engagement Reports, which list the viewing hours and views for most movies and TV series available on the streamer for the entirety of the year. Army of the Dead pulled in 46 hours, equating to 18.7 views, and Army of Thieves did 49 hours watched, equating to 22.6 views.